Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting after Carlisle have lost 2-0 away from home to Wycombe in what's been an absolute howler. Not a holy, a howler from the goalkeeping department today. And look, I'm just going to put ahead my thoughts on the whole situation straight off the bat. I didn't want Thomas Hawley dropped. When he was dropped, I wanted Anderson to do well, and I didn't really want him to have to come out of the team after that. It's just, for me, as much as I rate different keepers at different levels, I think it's never ever a good sign when you have to keep switching your keepers, which I that's the thing. It's not a case of me liking one keeper over another. I just don't like us changing them, because I think it's such a big decision to have to make, and it's a decision we're going to have to make again now, because unless it gets rescinded, Anderson's on a 2-match or a 3-match ban now. It's a straight red card, or maybe because it wasn't a dangerous bit of play, it might get rescinded to just a 1-match ban, but I'm not sure. Either way, Thomas Hawley's now going to have to play a game or a few, and when that happens, I think a lot of people will rightfully say they don't want Thomas Hawley out of the team again. And look, Anderson's now made 3 big mistakes in his 5 games, and from a position on the pitch where you need consistency and you need reliability, that just isn't good enough. Yes, good keepers make the odd bad mistake, and a lot haven't. And I've been very critical of Thomas Hawley making a few more than I think he should have in the past. But when it comes to Anderson, that's a 3-5 ratio now. It's not looking good. He's given away 2 penalties and got himself sent off. Now, as much as it was a big mistake, I don't think he handled the ball. And I know people will call me mental for that, but if you watch it back, yes, he makes the mistake of not looking behind him, which is basic stuff, which he maybe deserves to get taken out of the team for, just for that alone, but he seems to take it into his chest when he's on the ground. He doesn't really handle it. It might come off his hand at one point, but it's not as if he's grabbed hold of the ball. But yeah, it is a big mistake, and whatever happens now, he's been sent off. He's cost us that game. Whether we would have won or not anyways, I don't know, but at the end of the day, he will get the blame for that result. And it's a result we could have done without. And look, Wycombe are a good team. I say this a lot, but we're going to have to play good teams in this league, and we're going to have to start picking up results. It was away from home, and I definitely took a point. I think even in the second half, when we went down to 10 men, we still looked dangerous at times, but we can't complain with that result, because we deserve to get beat, and Wycombe deserved to win. They were the better the team, and they made less mistakes. They were a lot more critical, clinical even, and it's just a difficult result to take. But look, Thomas Hawley's going to get his chance now. I don't like changing keepers, so hopefully when Thomas Hawley comes back in, he manages to stay in the team. But yeah, it's a difficult one. And look, but I will solidify my own views on something else as well, and that's the fact that I still think we'll stay up, and I still think we'll stay up comfortably, despite the run of sort of bad results we're on. I think we've played most of the best teams in the league now, and come away with a point on a few occasions. And I still like these players. I still like individuals. I still think the players are trying their hardest, and I still think they've got the quality to get the results. They're even in some of these defeats, not so much today, but we've put in good performances, and I think it's just a matter of time now before we start picking up wins. And I'll say it again, we've still got Cheltenham to play twice, we've still got Fleetwood to play, we've still got Burton Albion to play twice. I still think we're in a relatively good position compared to some other teams down on this end of the table. When you look at some things that are happening off the pitch, a lot of fan bases have turned on their players and their managers already this season, and we're just not in that position. I think we're in a lot stronger position than a lot of teams. We just need to start picking up some wins now, and I think that'll happen. But going off today, that lack of stability in your goalkeeping area, in the most important area of the pitch, it's not going to help us, and I think it needs resolved quickly. I think Simpson now needs to make the decision whether, he needs to sit both the keepers down and say, look, if he wants to stick with Anderson, after your suspension's done, or maybe we'll try and get it rescinded, you're my number one, or Thomas Hawley, you're my number one, because Too many managers try and do it nowadays, and I absolutely despise it, where they try and get two goalkeepers, rotating them. You can't do that. You've got to stick to one. And I think that's a very, very big thing that he needs to sort out now. And that'll be the talking point coming from today. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think Thomas Hawley should be our number one for this foreseeable? Do you think after his suspension, Anderson should come back into the team? I suppose Thomas Hawley's now got something to prove in these next few games where he's definitely guaranteed to start. But on a similar note, the second goal, I do think that Anderson would have saved it. I think Thomas Hawley couldn't get down fast enough, which has always been Thomas Hawley's weakness, and it was a funny one for me because if Anderson was on the pitch, he probably saves that second one. But he didn't do himself enough justice to be in the position to be able to save that. He's got himself sent off, and he'll be blamed for that second goal because he wasn't on the pitch for it. But yeah, look, I don't know what's going on with my eye, by the way. It's gone really red and swollen up a bit, but we'll soldier on. Not all bad news. They're showing Lord of the Rings at Carlisle Cinema tonight, so it's not all negative. But yeah, look, big things to come. Again, with the takeover, some brilliant news there. Recently, with the 98% vote. Look, you've got the fans' support now. Someone else I'd like to say as well. My interview with John Coleman's now out on the Denny's Pod YouTube channel, so go and check that out. Despite that not being a Carlisle United-based podcast, I think John Coleman is definitely an interview that a lot of Carlisle fans will want to have a look at. And he says some very interesting things about Paul Simpson and the players, so anyways, I think I'll leave it there. I've waffled on long enough, I'll let you go. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.